In order to survive, this group of beluga whales can only take turns stirring the seawater day and night. They have been imprisoned in this small area for more than 5 months, and the surrounding area is full of endless glaciers. Only by constantly stirring the seawater can prevent the sea from freezing, thus preserving the only hole that can breathe air. Although beluga whales can dive far underwater to hunt, as mammals, they have to swim to the surface every 15 minutes to breathe, which makes their hunting range extremely limited. In the past 5 months, the surrounding fish, shrimp and squid had already been eaten clean, and the entire beluga whale group was on the verge of starvation. But they suddenly stopped hunting and used all their physical strength to stir the seawater, because they knew their only chance of escape was coming. A week later, the cold wind finally faded, and the first rays of warm sunlight quietly climbed the mountains of the Arctic. The indestructible ice began to melt and crack with the arrival of spring. A narrow but life-saving passage appeared, and the beluga whale group began to try to escape the torment that had built them for half a year. This was their only chance to survive, as the tides and ocean currents separated the frozen ice. The entire ice layer was like a huge labyrinth. The floating ice on the sea surface was changing all the time, and they could pile up on each other at any time, blocking the breathing holes of the beluga whale group and drowning them in this huge labyrinth. Beluga whales are highly social animals. They will find a way out together and continue to share information on Venus through sonar. But with only 15 minutes left for them, this is still a very difficult challenge. With the cooperation of the group, the beluga whale group finally found an open water, and they can finally breathe freely. Surprisingly, they are not the only whales who come here to take refuge. Narwhal, the unicorn of the ocean, 5 million years ago, their common revival began, and they gradually parted ways, each evolving in a different direction, and now they meet again in these waters. They hesitated together, as if they were having some kind of communication, but we don't know the exact content. But in the end, the narwhal joined the beluga whale group, and they decided to set off together and cross the ice in the middle of summer. After arriving in the no-soldier zone, the beluga whale group said goodbye to the narwhal, and they were about to usher in a great migration of more than 1,600 kilometers. In this ultra-long distance migration, the biggest threat is the killer whales known as the slippers of the ocean street. This group of beluga whales met them after sailing 700 kilometers. Orcas can recognize the conversation of beluga whales, and if they are discovered by orcas, the consequences will be disastrous. When approaching the area of the killer whale, the beluga whale group will stop talking and reduce their breathing rate by using physical contact to complete the transmission of information. The hut moves slowly, and the beluga whale group finally bypasses the area where the killer whale is located and successfully arrives at the end of the migration, the Seal River. Here they meet a large number of their kind, and nearly 1/3 of the world's beluga whale group will spend the summer here. There are no killer whales in this sea area, but there is an equally deadly beast on land, the polar bear. Although it is called the Seal River, there are polar bears everywhere. When the ice and snow melted, the polar bears almost lost their source of food, so they set their sights on the migrating beluga whales. An adult polar bear has found an excellent location to ambush beluga whales. The beluga whale group can use sonar to detect danger in the sea, but sonar cannot detect polar bears hiding above the sea. Several beluga whales came to the vicinity of the polar bear without knowing it. The polar bear saw an opportunity and jumped down. The huge water peanut instantly alerted a female whale to be slaughtered, and he quickly fled with the cub. In the sea, the beluga whale has almost a 100% chance of escaping. They are more than 3 times faster than the polar bear, but they strayed into the diving area while avoiding the pursuit of the polar bear. It happened to catch up with the north and began to descend. The mother whale and an adult beluga whale were stranded here, and the whale escaped to the deep water because of its small size. Whether Yukio will survive, it is still unknown. He keeps calling his mother in the deep water. He needs breast milk and protection. If his mother fails to escape the predicament, then he will also die. The mother heard the cry from Yukio in the diving area, but there was nothing he could do. The polar bear approached step by step, leaving him with little time. But at this moment, the adult beluga whale beside him gave him a hard push. With his help, the mother successfully escaped from the trap and swam to the deep water. The mother finally found the child 500 meters away from her. But the other beluga whale was not so lucky and ended up being food for the polar bear.